This video is about my impression I had after the first few hours spent into the game. First of all, I'm going to say this: I like this game more than I should. After a nice cinematic video about the world of Eorzea, how Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn is placed 5 years after the Battle of Cartenau, what was also known to us as Final Fantasy XIV version 1.0. That was other shit. There are 5 races you can choose from: the Eor, also known as the humans, Eletzen as the elf-like creatures, Lalafell, the 10-year-old that never grew up and all look like girls, Mikote, I think that's how you pronounce it, the cat-like humanoids designed for cat lovers at heart, and the final race is, I don't know even how to pronounce that, a Rugardian, I think, Rugardian, the orc-like race with hepatitis C. To be able to see the stats of each race, you have to go one step further in this race selection and select the clan of the race. Because I wanted to be a black mage and didn't want to select the creepy Lalafells, because to be honest, they really creep me out, and I'm not gonna go into further detail of that. So I went with the natural choice of the Eor, aka the humans. When we get into the character creation tool, you get presented the basic, and frankly, that should be the bare minimum in an MMO game, options to customize your appearance like the face, voice, nose, and so goes the list. The list looks like pretty long, but do not be fooled, for its options are very limited in what you can adjust or choose. For you can only choose out of 20 hairstyles, 6 facial looks, yes, I'm serious, 6 looks, but you can add or remove facial hair and or tattoos, which you have the broad choice of, I kid you not, 2 tattoos. Of course, you have more choice out of face paint, but who likes face paint besides a 10-year-old at the carnival and people that live in a tribe? After the long and very bare bones character creation and of course the server selection, you get thrown into the major world of Eorzea. At first you get a nice feeling of the atmosphere of the game, and I must say this is one of the best looking MMOs I have seen to date. You can choose how you want to play, with keyboard and mouse, or use a controller pad. Since I never played an MMO with a controller, I prefer to try that. After the first introduction to the game of going to Momodi, that behold the first of many quests that is the main quest, you get overwhelmed by the side quests that are presented, and it can feel like a maze at the beginning. But let me tell you that it is a maze with an exit at the end, unlike the first version of the game, where there was only a bottomless pit at the end of the maze. After a good 30 minutes of just running around in town, doing errands for lazy NPCs, you can go outside of the town and fight your first mob. At first sight it looks like another turn-based, between quotes, combat system, but not be fooled, for it's more engaging than it first appears to be. Every class has its own way of fighting optimal. For instance, I am a Thaumaturge. Like a black mage, it casts black magic. If you cast blizzard magic, you get an umbral ice buff. This buff gives you more mana regeneration, and if you cast fire, you get an astral fire buff that makes your fire spell cost more MP, but it also in return does more damage. So you need to cleverly switch between these 2 buffs to be optimal in your DPS. This was my first impression of, I think, a good solid 1.5 hours into the game, and I thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos on Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn, where I go more into detail about the game mechanics.